11:37 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great, sunny, shiny, warm, seasonably warm, great state of Michigan. And guys, I'm showing you this because on Uphold, I told you a while ago I was on the waiting list. It's been a couple months, but I finally got approved. So my next trade is going to be with Polkadot, as I've told you guys in the Telegram. I'm going to pull off a REN for when I go for my buy, and I'm going to buy Polkadot when I hit the uptrend, and I'm going to keep it in here because I believe this is going to be a week to 2 long pattern once we finally hit the proper support on Bitcoin, and I'm going to lock in that 10.5% APY. So that's a solid. I can get rewards every Thursday. After 4 days, you have to hold for at least 4 days before the rewards start to be put out. So whatever I buy is going to be a 4-day or longer hold, which will probably end up being a several week hold, because I know this next push up on this bull trap is going to be pretty significant. If we do pull up, we do have the bottom potential of 38,800 on Bitcoin. A lot of people know I got back into PBR in my Telegram. I got back in at $12.88, right by that $12.86 support. I was actually waiting for it to go down a little bit farther, but it never broke as far as I was anticipating. So now I'm anticipating a run back up because we had a nice premature breakout in crude oil that it's only a retest of a drop point at $100. But if crude oil stays, I anticipate a push up on PBR to about $14.20. Whether it goes down or not, I don't care. I put it in my IRA, picked up 135 shares, and it pays better than a 15% dividend. So it is what it is. I thought it was a solid trade. I don't have to pay attention to it for a while. And I'm just going to let it do what it does. If it goes down, it goes down. I don't even care. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at a short-term breakout with PBR over this next week, likely. Well, after the week, it's going to end up coming down because we have to consolidate. But in the short term, we're looking for a move up. Even if it gets stopped off on PBR at $13.57 and can't get all the way up, there's still plenty of profitability here. I think it's going to go up a little bit higher, though. I really do. I think when you look at the 30, as long as we can get topside of this, we've got a 4-hour time frame where we should be able to move to that $14 before getting rejected. There is that $13.57 that could obviously reject us, so that's something I'm watching closely. But from $12.88, whatever. We've got the total crypto market cap stuck at about 1.8 trillion. We've got Bitcoin hovering at 40,975. XRP right around 79.3. I think with Bitcoin, though, like I've been telling everybody, I think X is going to mark the spot, and that this is going to be the ideal spot where Bitcoin's going to come through, and it's going to end up down here at some point, and then that's when it's going to end up bouncing out to about 42. So that's going to give us, if we can buy it perfectly, because Bitcoin likes to make the runs look more prominent than they are. So if we started at 39.7 roughly, we could drop down to 38.8. That's the thing. We could do a quick dump off, a liquidity dump. But if we hold that 39.8 overall, we're going to come back up in the top of that symmetrical. The small one is right there. You know, we've got the small one that we're on. The problem is until we break this small one with confluency, we can't get back up to the top of the symmetrical. And until we break the top of that wider symmetrical, we can't continue on this uptrend to that 45,000 like I am thinking is going to happen. A lot of stuff to happen to trap everybody. A lot of stuff to happen so people won't be able to buy in the appropriate spots. So we have a symmetrical support at 28.8. We got downtrending resistance that the next bounce up, as long as we stay within this area, we still have upside to about 42,000. We just need to do this appropriately and ride this pattern. Now, the thing is if we do this appropriately and we get into the weekly, I think we're going to get up, and this is where we could have our significant bounce out. We just have to get on top of this year-long, basically. Look how long the symmetrical triangle is. If you just go from out here, it's back in November of 2021. The bottom of it started in May of 2021. We hit that support. So now you're talking, if we break out of this symmetrical triangle that's been going since May, now you can come in and you can try to put some tops in. Can we come up to 52? Can we widen out the symmetrical, right? And maybe when it comes out here, you could have something like this, and it's going to end up being a downtrending type of support structure, and the resistance is going to be downtrending from here on out, which means it could very well leave us into an area like that where we could pop up and we could be hitting up in here. And this is what I've been trying to play for a very long time, but I'm not going to get trapped in the up and down bullshit, because when we actually have this opportunity, it's going to be a rather substantial one. And I think we're going to push these areas again. And I'm not hiding it. And I think at the end of the day, it'll probably end up being like a right shoulder in the smaller pattern. But still, that's what I'm saying. I think this is going to be a week-long pattern by the time it breaks into it. And then it's going to go on for a little bit. We're not just going to drop out. It's going to take time in the up and down. So this could get us into around June, July area, where we're bullish now, because of the less than stellar performance by the Fed. They didn't go hawkish, they went dovish, saying that the economy's strong. This is just going to lend credence to have a nice little pump here before the next rate hike, until they do the severity of it in June and July. So I think March and April is going to open up for a phenomenal pump here. And I told you guys, I'm going to be bearish when I have to, and I'm going to have the bullish sentiment when needed. Right now, the bullish sentiment is needed because the Fed did exactly what I said. They went dovish. They only went 25 basis points. I've been saying this entire time, a pump's going to come if they do 25 basis points. Now we have to let it do the proper liquidity. And all that means is we're stuck in between a zone right now, and we have to get the validation before we buy in. Does it matter if we buy in here 42,200 if it's going to 50,000 or 52,000? No. But it does make a difference if you buy in here and it goes to 38.8 and you get liquidated out before the actual run, or if it goes to 40,000 or 39. This is looking very bullish, though, in the weekly. The weekly looks very bullish. You bring it back down into smaller time frames, and I'm going to show you where the most bearish sections are, but not to scare you. This is so that you guys can understand, because we're going to have substantial profits here. Join Tom's Army, $9.99 a month. I have zero doubt we're about to make a massive gain. Some people are going to make better than 50 to 75% on this run up. It's a patience game, and it's knowing the situation. Right now, based on the volume portfolio, we have to come down. We have to liquidity dump to make this work. We're not just going to go up with all these leverage traders. It generally doesn't work that way. And we're going to work our way back in over the period of today. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. It could be a weekend start pump, but once we come back topside and we keep hitting this downtrending, that's why we have to come and make sure that it's not going to break it. We have not gotten over this initial push up on this wick of 41,705, and that's very dangerous. Okay, that's very dangerous, because it's just telling us this isn't a bearish pattern. We just need to consolidate into that 40,000 area. I'm telling you. Remember XRP at 74.5 when it hit there and it was the absolute cream of the crop? That's what this is going to be right now. If you can buy in somewhere around there, you're going to be pretty solid. Yes, it does have a chance to break down a little bit higher if you look into certain time frames. But to me, if we can hit that uptrending support, I'm all about it. I am all about this. So that's what I'm looking at. I want you guys to have a bullish overtone now because of what the Fed did. You don't have to walk around feeling bearish to the bone. At least for the immediate short term of the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to get into a bullish type bounce. I don't want anybody to get tricked on this bearish little movement we have right now, because this is a calculated and this is plotted out by all the market manipulators. This is to keep everybody out for this nice, quick, easy run up that a lot of people won't buy. That's why I'm going to stake that. I'm going to take my own mental game out of it and sit to the sides for a couple weeks, whether it goes up 10% or goes down 10%. I'm just going to leave it there, because I know at the end of this, the weekly is very bullish. Going into June is very bullish. March into April to mid-April is definitely bullish. And then after that, we're going to have this extreme bearish sentiment. And you guys are going to hate me when it comes back around, but I'm going to have a bullish overtone for a few weeks. Everybody can get nice and acquainted to what it feels like when we're going to have a nice little run. The fact I'm talking like this leads you to believe that something big must be happening, but understand, we are still in the midst of a possible 2,000 point drop on Bitcoin. I don't want anybody to hear wrong. We are still in the grasp of a 5% retest on Bitcoin. So if that happens, you just need to be aware of what's coming after it. If we have a liquidity dump to 39,000, it's going to be the most bullish that I could ever be. And it's going to bounce up to probably 50,000. 45K max or minimum in that area. I really believe we're on a bullish overtone. A lot of people are still very bearish because they are not factoring in the fact that the Fed has already factored in that rate hike. Some people said we were hawkish. I completely disagree. In the media, they're trying to make it sound a little hawkish. I could not disagree more. What I can agree on is that they're going to dump the market probably by a few percent. And then you're going to have to find your buy-ins. My Polkadot buy-in, my ideal price is $17.62 to $18 range. So anywhere from $17.62 to $18, I would not condemn you for buying Polkadot. I might right now because I'm telling you with the volume profile across the board, it's likely coming down. We don't have enough back-end volume right now, even in the 2 hour, as I'm showing you. We don't have enough volume here. So it seems like we're going to come back down, reconsolidate, and it doesn't have to be at 1767. Like I said, there's an uptrend forming on Polkadot, and as long as it stays on the uptrend, you don't even have to come back to that support. Well, Tom, where's the uptrend? Can you at least show us? I'm going to show you, but you have to pay attention. You could very well be starting something like this. That's why I said it might not have to come all the way down to there. So watch anywhere from, this is approximately 1832 down to 1767. And there's something much bigger at play here with Polkadot as well. And you can actually see it if I just put in one more line. And the reason why I'm doing this update right now, and it's from the phone, is because I want you guys to see that the XRP Future Millionaire does have a bullish overtone. It does exist when we're in the right parts of patterns and the right stuff comes out. I do, in fact, go bullish a lot. It's just when we're in a bear market and it doesn't equate, I'm not doing it. But right now we have an uptrending symmetrical triangle. Uptrending support, which means the next hit should be about 1832 roughly, maybe a little lower depending on where it hits. We could have a stretch and come below it. But as far as I'm concerned, we're in an uptrend, and all we're looking for is consolidation points. So being in the bull cycle of a bull trap. So remember how I said we were in a bull trap, and we had a bear trap within a much larger bull trap. That's what's been playing out the last week or two. Now the greater bull trap is going to once again prove powerful. We're going to break out of the short-term symmetrical, which we're already trying to prove on Bitcoin and XRP and most of these. We're going to move into the 10-month symmetrical triangle. Some are up to a year. Bitcoin since May, XRP since April. And once we break out of that, that's when we can make the move, and we have to get over 42,200 for that. We break 42,200, we're going right probably to 45.5 and 50K. It's just that simple. So what does that mean for XRP right now? The sweet spot, like I've been telling my army, and that's why you need to join, get in the Telegram with 265 people. I think 77 cents is a good buy, but we oftentimes hit these X marks the spot. So I would say 76 cents would even be a great area to look at. So XRP Future Millionaire, make sure to hit that like button.